Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another stale movie review. Today we're going to be talking about Late Phase's Night of the Lone Wolf, which I got in a horror block. Night of the Lone Wolf is about a retired war veteran who moves to this like secluded retirement community, and on his first night there is attacked by this thing, and it kills his dog, and that sets him on a path of revenge and figuring out what happened. So the most of the movie is him preparing for the next full moon to confront whatever it was that killed his dog. So let me just start off by saying that I really liked that this was kind of like a revenge movie because a dog died, which speaks to me on so many levels. Not only as a vegan, but as somebody who really hates it when the dog gets killed in horror movies, and the dog almost always dies in horror movies. This movie is no exception. But I like that when you boil it down, the movie was about a man getting revenge because something killed his dog, which I find awesome. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie. I think it's definitely an interesting storyline too, because you don't get a whole movie based around that ever. So that's really cool. Other than that, I really liked the overall themes of the movie. Like I said, our main character Ambrose is a retired veteran, and you know, he's pretty much given up on living his life when he moves into this retirement community. You know, it's like he mentions that those retirement communities are where people go to die, basically. It's not exciting or, you know, meant to give anybody purpose or anything. It's just somewhere to quietly pass away. So Ambrose kind of has this very like defeatist, dark attitude, but he's also very accepting of the fact that he's closer to death than his son and other people and things like that. So he's accepted that. I should also mention that he's blind too. That should have been in the summary. I'm sorry. Ambrose is also blind. Right, anyways. So hence why he has the dog, his companion dog. So I like kind of like the theme of the movie is kind of finding a new purpose in life when, you know, when you're retired, so you're not working anymore, and you know, your children are grown up and are trying to start families of their own, and they really don't like need you as much as they did. So I really like that kind of theme of like finding a new purpose in life. I feel like I'm not at that stage in my life, but I feel like I'm at a stage in my life where I can kind of relate to that. So I really found myself connecting to that theme of the movie when I watched it. I found that really cool. Of course, since this is a werewolf movie, we have to talk about the transformation scene, which is like the key scene in any werewolf movie. So the transformation scene was all right. It kind of harkens back a little bit to An American Werewolf in London and The Howling. It's not as extensive as those movies. They show a lot of stuff, and there's, you know, heavy use of practical effects, which is always enjoyable to see, especially in newer films like this. Came out in 2014. So they had, you know, we have CGI technology available to make those transformations happen. I don't know about their budget, but it's always just nice to see when they make that choice to just go like 100% practical and makeup effects. So those scenes were well done compared to a lot of other films I've seen. It was well done. Not on par with the other two films I mentioned, but it was pretty good. It was well acted. The actor who plays Ambrose, Nick D'Amici, did a really good job. Kind of reminds you of like Clint Eastwood, that kind of like gruff, but like just like quiet and tough. You know what I mean? That kind of feeling. But I thought it was really well acted. And Ethan Embry, who you may know from The Devil's Candy, plays Ambrose's son, so he does a really good job as well, the scenes that he's in. Right, so let's get on to what I didn't like about Late Phases. I think the movie is like 3 genres. I want to say, like, you know, it didn't, how do I want to put this? It has elements of like a drama film, a comedy film, and a horror film, but I don't think it does a good job of marrying those genres to create like one cohesive movie. At one point, it's an effective horror movie. At one point, it's an effective drama movie. At one point, it's got some comedy in there, but they never really blend those. They're more like separate pieces of the film. So it's kind of strange watching the movie because, like, you know, it's setting up like a horror movie, but then all of a sudden we kind of move into this like drama, very serious kind of movie wherein Ambrose is like keeps having conversations with the priest, and he like it's like he's moved on to reconciling with like a higher power with his relationship with religion. It's just very strange to move on from like a horror movie, and then it seems like it's just like a straight drama film. And then towards the end, when we get to really seeing the werewolf again and we get to the final battle and the transformation scene, it gets kind of comedic, which is, like I said, it just seems like separate films and not really one film. So it wasn't cohesive, and it kind of makes it strange to watch. Like, it's hard to like it. It makes it hard to like it because it's like that. Yeah, so why should you watch? I mean, it has a very interesting premise. It's like The Howling meets Don't Breathe. So I think it's good to watch once. Might watch it again. I might watch it again. I don't know. It was okay. So that being said, I'm going to give this movie 3 badass blind guys out of 5. On IMDb right now, it has a 6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has a 69% critic score and a 43% audience score, which the critic score is 69% for a horror movie. That's pretty good. And Roger Ebert gives it a 2 out of 4, which for Robert Ebert and a horror movie, that's pretty good. Let me know if you've seen Late Phases in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it if you have seen it. Yeah, what's happening? Please look forward to, I don't know if I'm gonna have anything to unbox on Friday. I haven't gotten anything in the mail yet, and unboxings normally go up on Fridays, so we'll see. So if I don't see you on Friday, be sure to set a reminder for Ghouls Night Out on Saturday. That goes live at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're on my side of the US, which is the East Coast, that's 11 p.m., which I know is kind of late, but at least it's the weekend. You hopefully don't have to be up early the next day. So be sure to check that out. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, subscribe and become a creepy peep today. And until next time, stay strange.